Hello, good afternoon, this is Diecast Loon. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to another episode of Vintage Matchbox Mondays. Episode 51, I believe, of Vintage Matchbox Mondays. And as I mentioned yesterday, in a previous video, I said that this week's episode, I gave a hint, it would be military related. So that is what this week's episode is. It's going to be all stuff basically military related and Matchbox, or whichever way you want to say it. So if you're into your military vehicles, you'll like this. If you're not, you'll still like this, because it's still some very cool Matchbox pieces there, or here should I say. There's only one new piece to unbox, and I'll show that in a minute before I get into the other few vehicles that I got. It's got quite a reasonable amount to show, not too many, so it shouldn't drag on for too long. But so how it all basically started it started with, so before I show or unbox the new piece I've got, I'll show you what it started with. So it started with these two pieces. Let's just move these back a bit. When I was first starting to collect Matchbox, trying to find Matchbox in mint condition, or at least and in blistered condition was pretty hard to come by, especially in your local area, because they don't make these anymore, as we're all aware of. And eBay prices can be really ridiculous. And I found this one first, I believe, and then I found that one afterwards. And they were both, like I said, the cards weren't great, as you can see. Let's get a bit of extra zoom on so you can see what I'm on about. The cards weren't brilliant, they were a bit wrinkly, but they were still sealed. So I bought them, and I think I paid about £5 a pop for these. So it really was just the fact that when I first started collecting Matchbox again, or when I started to seriously collect them, excuse me, everything I was finding was either play worn or paying through the nose. So I did open these so I could get them out. This is back before I really knew what I was doing, whether I wanted to keep it carded or didn't want to keep it carded. And I'm not really a carded collector. I just basically cut these out the way I did, just so I had some, just so I could see, more like what the cards used to be like, But anyway, this is number 73, and it just says Weasel. It is a Roller-Matics, or from the Roller-Matics collection, should I say. You can see it would have been 45p once upon a time, but so this was one of the first Roller-Matics or army type vehicles I came across. Now, as far as I'm aware of, the Weasel and the Scout were loosely based on real British vehicles back in the day. How accurate they are, I don't know, but I think they were taken from a bit of liberty license taken, I expect. But like I said, it does still work. There you go, that's the Roller-Matics part. It's a bit stiff because it is as new, basically. So that was one of the first pieces I came across. We'll just pop that to one side briefly. And then we'll pop out this number 28 Scout car, if I can. And then a lot of the reason why I still got these in the packaging is just because at the moment I have nowhere to put them. It's easier to not get them knocked around so much. But anyway, so this was the next, excuse me, lose my voice, next piece I bought. And again, this is another Roller-Matics. There you go, the man moves about. But as a kid, I only ever really had one military vehicle, which I will show in a minute. But after picking these up, I just found that everywhere I'd go, every now and again, I'd come across a new military vehicle. And like I said, I'm not really into them, but I've ended up with quite a collection. So that is the Scout. There's my dog barking out back. So let's just move that out of the way. We will look at the piece, or a similar piece to what I had as a kid, but this is what I got for today's episode. As you can see, I paid a £5 for it. The packaging is in quite nice condition. The blister is very clean. and obviously the card is not bad. I am going to open this, so if you're not an opener, you might want to look away. But I do open, excuse me, I do open everything. But there was quite a few of these vehicles at the shop where I got this from. I didn't get this from my usual vintage shop that I go to get stuff from, because at the moment he's still away. Excuse me, I'm going to get a glass of water, I think. But this was from that place that I got last week's vehicles from. So this is another place near to my home that sells bric-a-brac stuff and quirky stuff, oil, fuel pumps, oil cans, enamel signs, and he has a few Matchbox vehicles in at the moment. So there is the back. So you can see some of the details, some of the other cars in the range. I have that one which is out on the table, which you will see in a minute. And so let's open it up. Let's try and open it without destroying it completely if possible. So that wasn't too bad. Still very crisp. And here it is. So here is the field gun, number 32, the field gun. It does have some little instructions in the back there, showing you how to snap off the sprue. So let's just remove the gun, if I can, from this. Just bear with me. How does this remove? It should remove. Well, I can't do it the second. Hang on, let me just have a little look off camera. There we go. I didn't want to break it, and I was struggling to sort of try and wangle it off on screen. But anyway, so this is it off the little plinth. You can obviously break off that piece, break off this piece, and then these pieces you can actually fire. I'm not going to break them pieces off. So what would happen is this can come off and go on. But like I said, I'm not going to break off them pieces. I will just leave them there. It looks a bit like a fence at the back there, to be honest, but it's very nicely detailed. We get some extra zoom on, you can see that the men are actually quite nicely detailed if you were to take the trouble to paint them up, which I'm not going to, but they are pretty cool. And like I said, they're the ammunition for the gun. The gun's got, that piece goes into the tow hitch. So it is quite a nice little set. Obviously this piece does tip up and down, it's quite nicely made, and obviously if you pull that piece back it would fire the ammunition. I'm not sure what sort of gun this is, probably a 25 pounder I expect, something like that. But here is a Jeep nonetheless. So that was what I was saying earlier about I have the Jeep off the back. Wrong zoom button again. You think I'll be used to this camera by now. Let's just zoom out again and zoom in. So here is the Jeep that I have. This came from a car boot sale. I think I paid like 50p for it, and it is in remarkably good condition. The dust, I never really cleaned it when I got it. I just basically got it and stuck it in a little baggie. But anyway, let's hitch that to that. Zoom out again if I can. So there you go. So now that looks pretty cool. So when I eventually get some more cabinets, because I would like to get some more display cabinets, it'll be cool to have all the army cars out, and it'll look good like that, I think, set up like that. There you go. So that is the number 32 field gun in lovely condition. So we will just plop that back onto there if I can. Now, can I do this? There you go, it's gone back in nicely. And like I said, I'm not going to pull the bullets off. I know I've opened it, but no, my luck, I will lose them. There we go. So that is the field gun. So that's a pretty cool find, and not expensive in my opinion. And I haven't killed the box, as you can see. So, like I said, I'm not a carded collector, but it is sometimes nice to see the examples of the boxes. Anyway, let's get on with some of the other vehicles as I am rabbiting on. So let's move that Jeep to one side. So this is another one I come across. Again, this was at a car boot sale. I can't remember what I paid for it. It wasn't a lot. It's a Rollermatics range. As you can see, the turret does move backwards and forwards. The rubbers, they're not too bad. They're not any major cracks. They're a little bit stiff, so that's why I'm not rolling them, because it's unusual for these to have lasted. They usually crack and fall off. These are not too bad. They're a little bit dry, but they're not cracking yet, which is good. So that is 1970. Yeah, we can get copyright. No, it's not. I was reading it wrong. Sorry. 1979 copyright. Lesney. Yeah, we know that. It is the Ritsu SP gun. So that is pretty cool. Nice and weighty. We got this, which is, I believe, the Badger. Now, I've got a few Badgers in my collection, but this is obviously the sort of military one. Now, a lot of these castings were right at the end of Lesney. So like for instance, the copyright on the field gun is 77. I think it came out around about 77, 78 originally. And then obviously they continued making stuff up. I don't know. I think these carried over into the Macau years. This is literally right on the turn. So you can see it's, there you go. So Rollermatics, made in England, Leslie products. But this is the Badger. But it is right there at the end. And again. So pretty cool. And like I said, ain't bad for somebody that didn't really want to collect military vehicles. And this one is the one I was on about that isn't the one from my childhood, but I had the exact same one as this when I was a child. And this one came all the way from Australia, from Tyrone at Building the Ultimate Matchbox Car Collection. Go check him out. Awesome guy, especially if you love Matchbox like me. He has everything, and he very kindly sent me this one time with a load of others Matchbox pieces. And again, this is in a lovely, lovely condition. But I had this exact same one as a kid. It's obviously like a troop carrier. Obviously got the little gun there, and let's see what it says on there. It's probably, is it a Rollermatics or not? No, this one isn't. So again, made in England, blah blah blah, super fast, all that good stuff. Personnel carrier. And like I think I said to Tyrone one time when we were corresponding, or I think I used to use my version to throw at people because I was a little pain in the butt when I was a kid, and I used to quite often throw stuff around, and these made good projectiles. And then it's funny, as you get older, you have them as a collector piece, but in lovely condition. So that came from Australia, that's from Tyrone. And then very quickly, because this video is going on a bit, so we will just move the camera back out. I got this set, and again, this is back when I was sort of on the changeover period to getting really into the Matchbox. This is from the Tyco period. This is a 5-pack, obviously, that somebody, I got it from a guy that wasn't a collector, but he'd had it since he was a child, and then it went to the loft for years. And I think I paid about £20 for this, which you could say is quite expensive, but this is from the 90s, around about 90, I'm trying to think now what was the Tyco period. I think it was 92 to 97, so it's in between there somewhere. But a lot of the castings in this are from older castings. So let's try and get it out if I can without killing the box completely. And so we got this one, which is this awesome Jeep. Very nicely made, plastic base, but other than that, it's exactly the same as the other older Lesney examples. So this was obviously a retool, or used from the original tools, so to speak, tooling. But it's cool. It is cool, and again, it's old itself. You know, this is over, you know, what, 20, come on, 25, come on, 30-year-old. So it's not exactly new. Then we got this one's a particular favourite of mine. I don't remember this one being a particularly old casting, but I might be wrong. But this is obviously a Hummer, and I just like the way that it has this little opening part at the back here, which is pretty cool. Give me a bit of light in there. So that was a cool find, or a cool piece, should I say. Just looking for a copyright. There we go, 94 on this particular piece, so that's not so old, but 2 seconds. Let's take a look at that. This is, again, so this one is the Weasel, just again a retool. So it's the got the 73 copyright, metal base, roller-matic still. So it's got, in a way, so it's got all the quality of the original Matchbox, but obviously it's from a different parent company. So pretty cool. And then we got this little, I think, I'm not quite sure what the helicopter is on this. The wings have got a little bit, or the rotors have got a little bit bent up over the years from being in the package, but that's no problem. I can straighten them out at another point. And then obviously this shrinks and comes out. I can't know if this moves on the front. No, it doesn't. But it is pretty cool. And then the last piece is this, which I'm not sure it's the missile launcher or it'll be to transport vehicle for something. But again, this was based on an older piece. These were around, so they go 85. So this one's obviously before Lesney, but it's still, I remember these being around. And obviously you've got this, if I zoom out a little bit, you still can't see it, can you? Like that. But anyway, so that is my military collection. That is the cars that I've come across. Let's show the start of the show, the new piece from today. And we'll stick in this piece just for the fun. And like I said, it's funny how you don't particularly go after, you don't particularly want to collect something, it's not really your thing, but you end up collecting it anyway. And I'm happy, I like this little collection of the military vehicles that I've got. But anyway, with that, please like, share, subscribe, stay tuned for more vintage Matchbox Mondays episodes. I'm going to try and do a Wednesday showcase this week. I've got some bits I want to show, so I might do a video Wednesday, and obviously I'm working on a custom for Friday's custom. But with that, I'll see you all very soon. Thank you for watching. Take care.